Hello, 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 and welcome to the Power Block. I am Reggie, your Encompass rep, and I'm on the road. I've been in Savannah and Hilton Head, South Carolina all week, and I'm rounding up the end of my trip here in Douglas, Georgia. So that's south, not Douglasville, Douglas, Georgia, which is south of Atlanta. Actually, seeing one of the members of some of the one of the members of a Facebook group uh, that's also a client. So we hanging out. We're going to breakfast tomorrow, and should be awesome. Uh, so let's get the uh, regular start off out the way where I introduce myself, which I've done. And just for anybody that's new to the channel, this is the Power Block. On the Power Block, you get 3 YouTube channels, one powerful block of Appliance Industry Talk. I start off the first leg of the block, and my block is just talking about from my perspective of what I see out in the field. I am a appliance distributor sales rep. I work for Encompass. In the description, there is a link where you can join to have a wholesale account with Encompass. There's no need to be buying off of that big uh, retailer online and getting parts you don't know where they come from. There's no reason to be out there paying retail for parts. If you are a servicer, you deserve a appliance. Uh, Sorry, I'm multitasking. You deserve a wholesale account. So look in the description and click on the link that says hello sign. Uh, and so the second block is Moni's and Tim's block. You got Moni in the middle with the guru Tim Burdick, the oracle of appliance repair. Uh, they team up on at 7:30 on Moni's block with SSG Appliance Academy. And then you got the OG Mike Sneed with Appliance Boot Camp at 8 o'clock. Let's go to screen share Kung Fu. So, and I appreciate y'all for being here. I'm worn out, man. It's been it's been a long week. Been on the road since Monday. I'm like laser focused though when I travel like this. But around the end of the week, it takes a toll, and it's starting to feel a little bit today. And then it's Labor Day weekend, and so hang on one second. Okay, it's Labor Day weekend, and I'm taking the family on vacation. So here's the thing, right? Even when I was a servicer, I always felt like so you go out there and you bust your hump, especially if you're the breadwinner in your house, and you go out there and you're grinding. One of the negative parts is, man, your family gets the leftovers, right? And it's not fair, but it is what it is, right? But it's awareness. I'm bringing awareness to this subject. Your family kind of gets the leftovers because you're tired. Sometimes you're a little cranky. So if that's you, man, just put it out there. I don't know who need to hear this. I need to hear this at one point. Break the cycle, man. And so try to save a little gas in the tank for your family. So this weekend, so I'm coming off the road. We'll be tomorrow, which is Friday. I'll still be in Douglas looking at a few accounts, getting home by about 4 o'clock. Then we're heading straight back out and driving about 4 or 5 hours to Destin, Florida. So that's beach capital, baby, for us anyway. So I usually go to Panama City. I love it there, but everybody keeps telling me, "Oh, you go to Destin. It's nice." So hopefully it's not crowded because I don't like that, but it should be a good time. So getting off the road, get right back on the road, man. But gotta have that second win for the family. You know what I'm saying? Um, So Encompass has virtual training. If you are a tech, I'm sorry, I wasn't even looking at the comments here. If you are a tech, EJ, yeah, that countdown, man. That's a YouTube. I need to download one day. Uh, so we do virtual training. Virtual training is taught by the Oracle of Appliance Repair, one of the most sought after manufacturer trainers in the industry, Tim Burdick. So we're actually fortunate to have him on the team to help do virtual training. It's for immediate to expert level technicians. And this training definitely keeps your pencil sharp and keeps you updated on the newer stuff, man, right? So he just recently had a hands-on training for Seal Systems at our Vegas location. So that was cool. Yeah, so yeah, check that out. You go to our Encompass website, or I'll put this link in the chat right now. So you can register for Encompass virtual classes. They're $25, and that covers 2 days worth of training. Or we might squeeze in a 1 day now. I need to ask him. Boom. BK from the Rockies. Thank you for the admin support, brother. It's my guy. So that what else about Mike Sneed, right? Well, let's keep it. Let's go in a row. Let's go in sequence. The second block, SSG Appliance Academy. Y'all go to ssgapplianceacademy.com. Sign your techs up for the 2-week basic appliance training classes. And she also has Seal Systems classes too. And don't forget to put Encompass in the discount code description to get 10% off your training with discount code Encompass. I'm getting ready to change that, but we'll see. I won't say it yet and confuse y'all. Appliance Bootcamp. Appliance Bootcamp is Mike Sneed's curriculum. He does hands-on and online content. And also as a third bonus, well, actually a fourth bonus. The third bonus will be the guy's a serial entrepreneur. And so one thing is there's so much good money in this business. He actually has a lot of ideas and, that he's taking action that he's actually doing himself. And he's broken those down too to teach you some extra ways of making money, some extra side businesses you can do with the money you make from appliance repair. And also he's got the blueprint, man. The blueprint is correctly named because that will help keep you in business. He's got strategies on how to manage your money and manage your business. So not only does it teach you the business, he teaches you how to stay in business. So Untamed, what's going on? Tim Burdick, what's up? Hey, Tim, why you here? I'm glad you're here, man. Question on the virtual training. We got somebody who says or. So are we now knocking it out in 1 day? Or it's still spreading out over 2 days, the virtual training? So as we wait for him to answer that, y'all don't forget, go to, if you are on Facebook, go to Appliance Repair Community Network, supported by Encompass. That's my Facebook group. You can ask me any questions. You can put any information that's not spam in the group. So y'all show some love. Click become a member. Also, I'll keep you updated on things that I find out in the industry and actually things that's going on with me as a rep too. So you can follow my adventures. So that's the end of screen share. Kung Fu. It's 1 day. Okay. 4-hour block. Yeah. So the training is a full day, 4 hours on the virtual training, y'all. So let's get to the subject matter. Today's subject. I got some notes. Today's subject is about being, I hate to use the word cheap, but being the lowest price, right? So let me do some moving around here. What do I mean? If you So we first get in this business, right? Actually, I'll give my own example. When I first got into business, I had this strategy. Excuse me. I had this strategy, and I was like, ooh. So I like, man, dryers are so easy to fix, and they're easy to get, right? Because anybody know, a lot of times it's dryers are sensitive to keep your house from catching fire, rightfully so. And a lot of people have that dryer move so far against the wall it pinches the vent hose, and some stuff get triggered, right? But we all know dryer is probably one of the easiest things to fix. I've been on record saying if I had to pick one thing to survive on in this business, it would be repairing and flipping dryers. Um, so I had a bright idea when I first started. I said, man, I'm gonna do volume and bang out dryers, sell them for $100. Oh man, if I could push like 20 dryers in a month, that's 2 grand easily. I'll probably net about 1,500. I said that'd be easy money on top of everything else I'm doing. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. And professionals, what's going on? And so I was like, yeah. So I had this plan, and I had it mapped out. So man, I'm gonna be $100 dryers, man. I'm gonna bang them out. And so it didn't work out the way I thought. I was selling a lot of dryers, but I was getting calls from sides of town I'd prefer not to do business in. Uh, nothing to do with the people. It's more of, so I would install a dryer and the venting isn't right. Some of it was low budget housing, and there's no judgment, no knock on anybody. So I mean, it's in all due respect. The maintenance guys will use oven outlets instead of the right dryer outlets for the plugs. And so I'll have to explain, hey, and I go to one time I went to the property manager and said, yeah, I got the wrong plug in there. That's for an oven. And I don't have those cords. I got cords for dryers. Well, you should have had the right cords. So she's blaming me. And King K, what's up, man? Sorry I missed you, brother. LOYR, shout out to King K. And so, yeah, I was just like, man, so it just became a headache. Another time I delivered one of those dryers and I had to keep going back out because the vent was bad. And the customer was on the complex, right? And she claimed they cleaned it out. And I said, well, what did they use? What machines did they bring in? She's like, oh, no, he stuck his arm up there and took some. So they didn't really clean it out. And so the vents was bad. And I kept having to go in there. And then you have insect infestation problems. And so, a little bit of entitlement, which is understandable because somebody, if money's tight, $100 might as well be 1,000, right? I've been there, right? I've been there when a $20 bill was $100 to me because he was like, man, it was tight, and so they, they're gonna be rough on you, and in your mind, you're like, man, I'm not making that much money off of this to be taking this type of abuse. So, is being low price worth it? Is being the cheapest one? Is this a sound business model? So I'm gonna break down being the lowest price, pros and cons. I'm not gonna completely knock it, not gonna really endorse it either. Pros and cons on both. Coming from a servicer point of view, coming from a retail seller point of view, or used or new appliances, and coming from a part supplier point of view. So we're gonna break all those down right now. Let's start from the service side, and I'll give you some examples because I lived it. And many of you know when you first start out, you kind of start out cheap, right? I did a video prior to working for Encompass about what type of servicer you. And the thumbnail on it is 3 people on there, and one is are you the entitled servicer, the professional servicer, or the friendly? I think the other one was friendly servicer. And so it's about how it's about price level and how you people price stuff. And so the friendly, so when you first start off, you feel kind of guilty, right? Because you're like, man, that was so easy. I feel guilty hurting somebody $300 for doing something that took me all 30 minutes, right? Um, so from a servicer point of view, assuming we all know what we're doing, right? When you get to a point where we all know what we're doing, that you're not new, because I get it. If you're new, you're trying to build your business, you want to be a little cheap, not too cheap though. Um, is it the pros of that business model? The pros of being the cheapest around is you'll build clientele quickly. Uh, you're going to get your experience in quickly, right? Because you're doing so many jobs, and now it's a different type of customer, though. I'll tell you that because you can be busy and not cheap, right? But it's a different type of customer. Um, and you never know what relationships come out of those, right? Because you're doing volume, so your experience is up. You get your name out there, people know who you are. So it is a strategy, I would say, for growth at the beginning, but quickly wean off of that. Now let's go to the cons of that. The cons is as a servicer. Now my own experience when I was cheap, I had to fire a lot of customers, right? Now I didn't just tell them I'm not coming out. No, I would tell them the new prices, and they would fire themselves, right? And it wasn't their fault because when you are so cheap, you undercut the market. And so other servicers, if they try to call other servicers, they can't because they're like, well, why wouldn't we use this guy? He did a good job and he's cheap. They're gonna wear you out. You know, a light bulb is blown in their house. They're gonna ask, hey, do you do light bulbs? Like they feel you're so cheap, they want you to do everything. Um, and so as you grow, I know I had to get rid of those customers, and it wasn't their fault. I created a bad, uh, lack of a better word, example, right, with them, a bad precedent, or with them on my pricing, and it was hard for them to pay more because I was so cheap. Um, and so then I learned how to price things and be fair, right? So I was fair with my pricing, and I got a new set of customers that love me to death, right? So that's a positive with. So that's some of the cons, right? So you kind of gotta fire customers and get a new batch and price yourself accordingly. But you never tell them you won't do business. You just tell them, well, this is how much it is now, and they'll be like, man, you higher, you more now. I say, yeah, I mean, nowadays you can blame the market, right? The supply chain issues and all that stuff. So you can blame the market. Um, Listen, Lamar said I was so cheap. Customers met me at the door with a honey-do list. Yeah, they want you to be their guy, dude. Like, yeah, you're their guy. Do you work on cars? Like, they want to do everything. Do you babysit kids? You're so cheap. Come on. So yeah, so from a servicer point of view, that's my opinion on that. As a reseller, I guess I kind of buried the lead on that one with with my opening. Yeah, you've got again the customers you get, the set of customers. So if you start off, you selling machines, you flipping machines, right? If y'all don't know, y'all know I was a flipper, and so selling machines too cheap. First off, you'll get. Actually, let's talk about what it does to you psychologically, and let's be real. When you've earned a fair amount of money, you don't mind going the extra mile. But when you feel like, man, this customer is getting it so cheap, they're gonna ask me for nothing extra, right? Now that's gonna be in our minds, but in the customer minds, it's what it should cost, right? So let me get an example. I was working at this is when I was in the car business and I was in finance, and the detailers in the back, washing the cars for customer stuff. They used to wash our cars too, and so I was so used to haggling because you're in that world, man. You haggle. I used to haggle at Walmart. You get in this mindset of haggling every little thing. So now it's so funny. So now I don't haggle anything. I feel like, you know what, it's your money. I feel this is a fair price. Here's your money. And so the details in the back charge. I think the guy wanted to charge me $20 to wash my car and do just a vacuum. And I was like, dude, nah, man. I said, I give you 15. No, I think I said I give you 10 or something like that. He's like, all right, give me 10. And this dude did such a half-ass job, right? Super half-ass, because I'm still expecting that $20 uh, wash. A wash. I mean, just I didn't want nothing special. And so he had a chip on his shoulder. I mean, to me, he shouldn't have agreed, right? But he had a chip on his shoulder and was like, well, you only paid $10. What you expect, right? Uh, I know y'all know some people in our business that do that, right? I know a guy that sells machines and people haggle him. And so he'll drop the machines off in the driveway and they'll be like, aren't you going to install it? Like, no, not for that price you paid. Well, see, you're wrong for that, because if you're going to agree on a price, you should let your client know that they're going to get less service, right? And allow them to make a decision. So if you get that haggler, you're trying to sell a washer, a dryer, refrigerator, whatever, and they haggle you, and you say, then your response is, okay, I will agree to that price if I can just drop it off and do no install, right? Then you're good. But if you have a chip on your shoulder and you're that entitled tech, that's bad business, man. That's bad for the industry. So, yeah. Oh, hang on, let me get a drink, man. Well, I'm already in my reserve tank, man. It's been a long week. So yes, as a flipper, uh, knowing that you're priced fair. So you're flipping appliances, you selling new, whatever. You got to show them, you got to store. Uh, Stick to a fair price, right? You can haggle a little bit, right, within reason, but don't be afraid to let somebody walk away. You know, I don't care what excuses they give me, and excuses do not work on me. I don't want to hear your sad story because we got them all, right? Um, so when you know you sold your machine for a fair price, what does that do to you psychologically? Well, that makes you, when you go to the store to buy like appliance paint, you get the good appliance paint, right? You put more quality in your work. That's just like human nature, right? Knowing that, okay, you're gonna get a fair dollar for what you're selling, it makes you do better. You clean that dryer out a little better when you're refurbishing it. We go to install, right? You do a better job, right? Or if you see like, oh man, that water inlet hose got a bubble in it, you go ahead and change it out at no cost. You're like, I got a million of these hoses. I'll throw this on for you. No problem. You do stuff. You go the extra mile, and it creates a positive experience for you and the customer. Um, Man, another example I was gonna say, I completely forgot it. I guess I write stuff down. So definitely, and with comes a repair, or it comes to flipping, selling retail, uh, give it a fair price, right? And if someone wants to haggle you, uh, this is where you put your salesman hat on. And being a salesman is not a bad word. This is where you give justification why your prices are what they are, right? Mr. Customer, when I recondition these, I put a fresh coat of paint on it, and I make sure I get the quality paint. That's what you're paying extra. That's what you're paying for. I won't even say extra. That's what's in my price. I go the extra mile if I see a part that may be worn out, might still last another 6 months or a year. I'll go ahead and change it anyway, because my name is on this machine, and so that's why it's priced the way it's priced. That's what you do, man. And so do it tactfully, do it with grace, and I think people appreciate that. But this cheap old haggler, no matter what you sell the machine for, he's not going to be happy anyway. So that's not your customer. Everybody can't be your customer. This is a saying: the customer is always right. That is a lie. But the customer is the customer, right? Customer not always right, but the customer is the customer. So how does this apply to the parts business? Take a second. Pause for effect. um, and not just the parts business, I would say business in general. So there is a supplier, very well known, not number one, but very well known. And their whole business model is price. Their business model is we have the cheapest parts and we'll give you cheap shipping. Matter of fact, I think they're doing like a 90-day cheap shipping rate. Um, but so y'all in business, y'all know what happens if you're not bringing in enough revenue. What happens? Well, you can't pay your people what you need to pay them, right? Um, you can't pay the people what you need to pay them, and so now you may not have the most quality of employees, and so that affects your returns process, that affects your shipping process. A lot more mistakes are prone to happen. You cut back in other areas such as the software you may use, so you may not have the most up-to-date software or technology. Um, it affects uh, your ability to leverage the value of your business. If you try to go take your company public, bottom line is important. Profitability is important. Uh, how you market, how you treat your customers is huge, right? Because that goes back to what I just said about, if you sell that dryer, you agree on a price that you agree on a price on selling something, a machine that you're not happy about selling it for, but you still say okay. You're not the same, right? You may not give the same level of service. And number one, when it comes to a parts supplier, if you're not making enough revenue, you don't have parts. So that supplier I'm talking about that I'm not going to name, they don't have inventory, and so I mean you don't have to be expensive, but you have to be fair, right? So there's always caution with buying cheap. Um, so anyway, especially in a business where you pass the extra $2 or $3 on to your customers, and they're proud to pay it if you're doing a good job. Um, so that, and even in business, man, we've got to, focus on being fair, right? There's a blue book. I know that was I've never got a chance as a tech guy around to getting one of those things. I've been wanting to, everybody told me I should get one. I never got around to getting one, but I see the value, especially showing the customer like, hey, these is the actual what I should be charging you, and I'm not. I don't. This isn't my book. I didn't make this up. So that gives you some. That will give you a bit of credibility when it comes to your pricing. So chime in the comments, man. I know Untamed said customers are getting entitled. Yeah, but we gotta learn how to handle them though. The customer's not always right, but the customer is the customer. Y'all got any questions or you got a statement you want to make about the subject? Please, please, please feel free. Put it in the chat. Yep, but the customer is the customer, and yep, they're very entitled. But I think when you're spending your money, it can make you act a little different. Oh, that's another example to say earlier. And so another thing is when you have, and this probably goes to that entitlement a little bit. One situation I think is just unfair to us, but you gotta be fair to yourself. Is I can use this example for appliance repair and for flipping appliances. So flipping appliances, if a customer bought a machine without warranty, bought a cheap machine, and then you can't contact the seller no more and they're upset, and they want to buy your machine, but once yours cheap, so they can try to make up some of their money that they lost on the first one. That got nothing to do with me. Right? And as a servicer, oh yeah, the guy's guy came to fix my fridge, charged me $500, now he's doing it again, and I can't, I don't know where he's at, I can't get him on the phone. And you like, okay, I'll do it, but it's gonna be, I mean, I don't charge 6, but it costs you 5. Well, can you do it for 3? Because I need to make some of my money back. No, that money you paid him did not go in my pocket. And you mean to tell me you want to pay him more and he did a bad job and then pay me less to actually do it the right way? Does that make any sense? So yeah, that happens too. So I feel you on that, man. So we gotta, sure, the customer is the customer, but not all customers are your customer. That, preach, BK, preach. So yeah, he added on to the saying. That is a good. The customer is not always right, but the customer is the customer. But not all customers are your customer. And I see that every day in the field as a part sales rep. I do got to make a decision when I walk into a servicer and disqualify, because if you're not a good fit, I'd rather have that part go to somebody, sell it to somebody that is a fit. Now we're good. We're not short on getting parts, but it's not everybody's a good fit. And also the level of service that you will bring to your customer, you want to make sure it's somebody you feel is deserving of your time, right? Because usually if you pick somebody that's not a good customer for you, they're going to suck so much out of you. Then you end up neglecting your good customers, the customers that are a fit for your business. So yeah, BK, man, I'm gonna leave that comment up there. That was a good one, brother. Yeah, y'all. So any other comments put in the chat? Just to recap, if you go into the description of this video, you're going to see a link, and in that link, I was logged out by mistake. Oops. You're gonna see a link, and in that link is going to be something that says "Hello Sign." That is a link to sign up for an Encompass account. If you are a servicer, you deserve wholesale pricing, and you deserve to leverage the hard work the Encompass executive team has done to put together relationships with the major manufacturers to give you the ability to leverage our parts for your business. Encompass is the most authorized servicer in the country. What does that mean? That means when you want to grow your business to, let's say, you do Medea, you're a Medea authorized servicer, or you're a Samsung authorized servicer, you could you go through Encompass to do your warranty claims. That also means we get special pricing from the manufacturers that's better than a servicer, than a distributor that is not authorized with that manufacturer. So win-wins all across the board. Also, with applying for an Encompass account, we don't make you jump through hoops. You don't have to jump through hoops. We don't require EIN numbers. We don't require LLCs. A lot of distributors require that to prove that you are actually a servicer, and also that's a way of getting the big fish. But we want the big fish and the small ones. So we don't make you jump through those hoops. We do ask those questions, but you can put NA on the application on any spot that you don't information you don't have. That does not disqualify you, and most applications are approved within 24 hours. Our back office are rock stars. So you've got that, and VK. Seen it before. There are some customers that are draining and not worth the investment of time. Be selective. Yep. And So yeah, that was the nice thing about being self-employed, man. You can fire people, but as a servicer, it was so nice to be like, you know what, nah. Or somebody talk nasty to you. I used to always have. One line I used to always use. If you do not have a civil tongue when talking to me, we cannot continue this conversation, and I cannot fix the issue. Yelling and cussing and all that will get you nowhere with me. So let's talk civilized, and then we can fix the issue. You know, and people that usually work because you let people work. As a certain man, customers be like crazy, man. So if you let them work themselves up, they will. Um, anyway, that's my time, y'all. And y'all have a happy Labor Day. Y'all catch my show on Monday. I will have a show on Monday. Uh, and don't forget to like and subscribe while you're here. So this next part is going over to Mona Sims, Moni, and Tim at SSG Appliance Academy. So you go into the description, click the Linktree link, and go to SSG Appliance Academy. And then at 8 o'clock, do the same thing for Mike Sneed. Okay. Oh, also, I forgot one more thing to tell you guys. LOYR. Lean on your rep. If you have a gripe with Encompass, LOYR. If you have you can't log in, you have some sort of issue with your account, LOYR. If you have questions, LOYR. Lean on your rep. Yeah, have a good weekend.